That afternoon, Las Vegas seemed to set the sky ablaze with golden orange. Behind the imposing concrete walls of Allegiant Stadium, thousands of seats remained empty, awaiting the promised night. A night that was supposed to be historic. Depicting set. A name enough to make the entire city breathe differently. On the nearly limitless stage, two figures strolled casually amidst thick cables and scattered technical equipment. Taehyung and Jeon Jungkook, two names always mentioned together, two shadows always searching for each other, even amidst the crowd of thousands. They bantered lightly during soundcheck, Jungkook's laughter echoing through the stadium's still empty walls. The sound of instrumental music drifted softly, bouncing off every corner of the empty arena. The stage lights were still being tested one by the crew, flashes of white, then blue, then red. Everything seemed to be going according to plan. It all felt so normal, so calm. Too calm, if anyone had noticed. Taehyung stood center stage, his eyes sweeping across the stadium from above. There was something in that look, a mixture of gratitude and awe that never truly faded, even though he'd stood on stage hundreds of times. Jungkook watched him silently from the side, a faint smile tugging at the corner of his lips. "You always get that way whenever you see an empty stadium," Jungkook said quietly, almost whispering over the sound check. Taehyung turned his head, a little surprised to be caught. "Like what?" "Like it was the first time." Taehyung's laugh broke out softly, warm, genuine. Jungkook smiled back. The moment felt perfect. Two best friends, two brothers, standing on the stage of their dreams, under the red Las Vegas sky. If time could stop at that moment, perhaps neither of them would have stepped forward. But time never stops. From the right side of the main stage, a spark appeared without warning. It was small, almost invisible among the flashing lights still being tested. Some of the crew glanced over briefly, thinking it was just a technical issue, a shorted light, perhaps, or a frayed cable. No one moved. No one screamed. They were wrong. The next second, a loud, thunderous explosion ripped through the stadium. It wasn't like the sound of stage effects. It wasn't like anything they'd ever heard in rehearsals. It was a real sound, loud, sharp, and brutal. Thick, black smoke billowed from behind the giant LED screen, curling upward like a giant hand gripping the ceiling. Fire, real fire, and it waited for no one. Within seconds, flames spread to the surrounding stage props. The black fabric hanging from the sides of the stage wings burned like paper. The wooden construction of the set decorations, which had been under construction for days, ignited with a terrifying crackle. The stadium alarm went off. A long, deafening siren wailed, red emergency lights spun around the arena, and in an instant, the previously quiet Allegiant Stadium was transformed into a noisy inferno. Taehyung froze. He, who had been standing closest to the source of the smoke, suddenly couldn't move. His feet felt stuck to the stage floor. His eyes, those dark brown eyes that had always been calm, were now wide, staring at the growing flames behind him. His face was as pale as a sheet of white. His lips parted slightly, but no sound came out. Because there are moments in life where the fear is too great to speak. It can only be felt, stabbing into his chest like a shard of ice in a sea of fire. Jeon Jungkook didn't freeze. Instinct took over before his mind could work. In a split second, his feet were moving, his body was turning, and his hand was gripping Taehyung's wrist tightly. Not roughly, but firmly, like someone who had already decided they wouldn't let this man stand here for another second. "Taehyung, let's run." His voice wasn't a panic scream. It was a command. Cold, swift, and confident. And somehow, amidst all the chaos exploding around them, it was the only thing that managed to break Taehyung's ice. Taehyung's feet began to move. They ran together down the side stairs of the stage, holding each other's hands amidst the torrent of panic that swept through the crew and staff. Around them, people were running in all directions, some heading for the back door, others still trying to salvage the expensive equipment they had left behind. Someone screamed someone else's name. The alarm continued to blare mercilessly, filling every inch of the air that was now beginning to feel heavy with smoke. Jungkook didn't stop. He didn't let go of that hand. He knew the stadium like his back. His own hands, every evacuation passageway, every emergency exit, every path connecting the stage to the back area. They had already undergone a safety briefing upon their arrival yesterday. Jungkook had listened to every word. He always did, silent on the outside, but not missing a word. Several stadium security officers had already moved to open an evacuation route in the back hallway. They signaled with their hands, guiding anyone still inside toward the exit. Jungkook directed Taehyung along the path, his body naturally moving slightly forward, a half step ahead, like a shield he never announced. In the midst of running, Taehyung glanced back. He shouldn't have, but humans always look back at the things they fear losing. And there, on the stage they had stood on with laughter and jokes, most of the decorations had collapsed in flames. The structure that dozens of technicians had spent days constructing, the light panels, the decorative poles, the fabric that formed the silhouette of a city, it was all burning. Collapsed. Gone.